Good morning, everyone. This is Gail Dudley with your News in Motion. Joyful Monday to you. Today is Monday, September the 28th, 2020. A lot of news to cover, so let's get started. All right, New York Times reported that Trump nominated Judge Amy Barrett to the Supreme Court. So that's the nomination. And of course, the battle has begun. So whatever that looks like. Good morning, Pastor Alex Williams. He says, these are his words, and I quote, "Good morning, Deborah Johnson. She is a woman of unparalleled achievement, towering intellect, sterling credentials, and unyielding loyalty to the Constitution." Good morning, Adrian. Trump goes on to say in the Rose Garden ceremony, just what he thinks of her and how they're going to try to get this done before the November 3rd election. Now, what we are hearing is that Senator Mitch McConnell is not promising a vote before the election. Let me share with you why. Good morning, everyone, as you're coming in. Good morning, Brenda. Good morning, Yvonne. Let me share with you why. Here's some of the talk that's happening. If they go ahead and put the vote in now, good morning, Oscar. If they go ahead and put the vote in before November the 3rd, the Republicans have what they want, so they don't have to vote him in. So they're trying to strategize, thinking, do we put her in or have the vote after the election? So you have two things going on. And if you notice, the Democrats are somewhat pulled back just a little bit because that's the thinking, that is the reasoning. That's the conversation. Well, if we let the vote go before November the 3rd, if we rush this like we had planned to, well, they don't need him in office because they have what they want. But if we wait and do this afterwards, they're hoping that they can still get the election their way. So a lot is going on here, y'all. A lot is going on. This is the fun part of politics that I enjoy, actually. Good morning. I see so many of you coming in here. Good morning. So Judge Barrett in her remarks said judges are not policymakers, and they must be resolute in setting aside any policy views that they hold. So there's her take. So you're wondering, well, what's going on here? This is more than likely going to get ugly. I'm not for sure, but here again are the reasons why we vote. We can never sit back on an election. Even in what we call off-year elections, we cannot sit back on off-year elections, y'all. We have to vote. We have to be educated voters. Just like you look for things that you're going to purchase. You check Amazon, you check Target, you check Walmart, you check whoever. The same education that you take and the same time you take on finding the best product, the same, if not more, that we should take when we're looking at voter education. Y'all, we have to be educated voters. All right, y'all, here's a little bit of good news, depending upon which way you vote. Time is reporting that the younger Democrats are making their peace with a Biden vote. In a new polling for Wall Street Journal, NBC News, data suggests that millennials and Gen Z voters, broadly all those under 40, are coming around to vote for Vice President Biden. So that's a little bit of good news. We have to keep talking, though. Yeah, we have to keep talking. We have to keep talking to the millennials and to the Gen Zs. We have to keep talking. They're starting to come around. They're starting to come around. All right, y'all. New York Times published this hit yesterday. I'm sure you know this already. Donald Trump's tax returns. So finally, we get some light to this. And some people were asking, can you trust this? Is this fake news? What I can say, what I know, and do your own research. I know I believe in you doing your own research. What I know is that New York Times reporters, they do not put anything out of there until they have crossed every T and dotted every I. So I believe this reporting. But again, do your own research for yourself. But listen to this, y'all. Donald Trump paid $750 in federal income taxes the year he won presidency. In his first year at the White House, he paid another $750. Well, here's what's happening. Is he setting a standard? How many of us could just revolt and say, we're not doing that either? Now, we will all end up in jail, so I'm not suggesting that. But I'm just looking at this saying, did he really do this? It goes on to talk about he paid no income taxes at all in 10 of the previous 15 years, largely because he reported losing much more money than he made. Yeah, that's what's happening, y'all. That's what's happening. So read that for yourself, but that is news. Follow that. The best reporting is actually the one who published it, which is the New York Times. So please get that and read it. It's a long read, but it is so detailed. It's so detailed. And it's interesting that when he came out yesterday at a press conference, he said, oh, they're still under audit. Well, I remember when your lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, said that they had already been audited. So what is it? See, this is a part of news that we always have to connect the dots. Never forget what was already said. Hold on to what was said and then look at what's being said now. That's how you developed a good news source. And again, y'all know I look for news, and when I see people skip over certain things, that's what I'm going after, because that's what I want to bring you, because we need to dig deeper into what is really being said here. So I get excited about this. I really do. So, they're saying that he's broke. I like what Van Jones said yesterday. Even Rick Santorum on CNN yesterday, and y'all know Rick Santorum is a Republican, and they were saying yesterday that he's broke. He's broke. And they're wondering if some of the work that he is doing through the White House with his children is trying to recover some of the loss that he has assumed. So there's a lot. I think the story is going to continue to unfold. So keep watching it and see what's going to happen. All right, y'all, Axios reports. I don't know what it is with the occupant of the Oval and TikTok. I don't get it, except they really did throw him shade when he was trying to do that rally when he first came back out after not after the coronavirus is still happening, but when they tried to start opening up things. I think he's still mad at the teenagers. Okay, so here it is, y'all. TikTok is, the ban has been banned temporarily. So a federal judge banned, no, we're not doing this. We're not going to say that the apps can't go into the app store. So a federal judge just kind of temporarily put a ban on the executive order. This happened on Sunday. A federal judge granted TikTok's request for temporary restraining order against a ban by the Trump administration, according to CNBC. Why it matters is because the American teens and millennials are still downloading that app as one of the fastest apps they're downloading, and they are still attacking his administration and his campaign. So where he's trying to ban them, the teens and the millennials just continue to attack. So it's really interesting. So that's going to be an interesting thing to see what falls out there. Y'all, we all should say together, release the transcripts. USA Today reports in Louisville, Kentucky. I have been paying attention. Yep. Yeah, it's just interesting. A Kentucky State Police ballistics report does not support State Attorney General Daniel Cameron's assertion that Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, shot a police officer the night she was killed. So y'all, they're starting to uncover this as well. That's why I always say be careful what you put out there and what you say and what you do, because somebody else is going to be digging into that, researching that, and it's starting to unfold. So y'all, I'm still believing in justice for Breonna Taylor. Continue to say her name. Continue to use that hashtag when you're on social media. Continue to. The FBI is now continuing digging into that, and we're just going to trust that they're going to come out with something that is true. So there's that. Y'all travel anyone? Is anybody traveling these days? A report issued by the U.S. Federal Maritime Commissioner said there is an urgent need for the cruise industry to resume sailing from Florida's cruise ports. Y'all know people on the ship. Remember, they were out there forever and a day when coronavirus first hit the U.S. They're citing staggering losses to revenue, local employment, and the contribution cruise passengers make to tourism when they're in Miami, sometimes a week before or days before they board the ship. The commissioner indicates that Florida has lost $3.2 billion in economic activity, and then 49,500 local jobs. Yeah, it's a lot. Now, cruises, the ports should open back up. That's what their goal is, to open back up on this coming Thursday. But cruise ships are saying people still are not getting those cabins. I know I'm not doing it. So be mindful of that, but that's what's happening. They're losing money. It also shows you follow the money, the puzzle of what that looks like. Y'all, believe it or not, indirectly, we're voting on things like this as well. So indirectly, we are voting on things like that. More urgent than keeping people safe from COVID. Great question, Elizabeth. Great question. Great question. So again, here's the economy. We got to open it. We got to open it. We got to open it. So they're trying to rush to do these things. But is it safe? Is it safe? And people are starting to write their own narrative for their health. They're saying, I'm not ready to do that yet. And hear me, that's okay. Don't let anybody push you into anything you don't want to do. So here's the coronavirus numbers. Remember, I get mine from the World Health Organization. I bypassed the CDC. There are 7,321,242 cases. There are 209,453 deaths. There are 4,560,456 that have recovered. So we need to celebrate recovery, but now we have NPR that's reporting that COVID-19 daily cases are again on the rise. And I'm going to read this quote, this media release. The number of new daily coronavirus infections in the U.S. continued to rise this past week, driven by upward trends in nearly half the states that have pushed total cases in the country past 7 million. At the same time, a recent study suggests that the vast majority of Americans haven't been exposed, far below what's required to quell the virus's spread through immunity. Y'all, daily cases, daily cases were largely on a downward trend in August and early September from highs in July, but are now going back up again, reaching the numbers that we were seeing in July. According to Johns Hopkins University Coronavirus Tracker, the U.S. reported more than 55,000 new cases on just this past Friday. Wash your hands, wear your mask, practice social distancing. Do not let your guards down, people. Don't let your guards down. All right, now, this also brings us back to what I've been talking about for 4 months, 3 months. We're in week number 17. So since that time, I've been saying this from the beginning, and I want you all to hear me. Please hear me. Nancy is beginning to get into preparation mode. I'm talking about Speaker Nancy Pelosi. All right, she has begun mobilizing Democrats for the possibility that neither Joe Biden nor Donald Trump will win an outright electoral college vote. I know you're saying, what? What's happening here? So let me just keep reading this this release. I got this actually this morning at 3 a.m. It says, a once-in-a-century phenomenon that would send the fate of the presidency to the House of Representatives to decide. It can go there, y'all. This election can go to the House of Representatives to decide. It says, under that scenario, which hasn't happened since 1876, every state's delegation gets one single vote. Who receives that vote is determined by an internal tally of each lawmaker in the delegation. This means the presidency may not be decided by the party that controls the House itself. I'll read that again. This means the presidency may not be decided by the party that controls the House itself, but by the one that controls more state delegations in the chamber. And right now, Republicans control 26 delegations and Democrats control 22, with Pennsylvania tied and Michigan a 7-6 for Democrats, with a 14th seat held by independent Justin Amash. Now, I know I just said a whole lot, so you may have to replay that. Feel free to do so. But this is what's happening, y'all. We have to get beyond those top two names, Joe Biden and Donald J. Trump. And we have to really make sure that we are voting everything local, everything state. Y'all know this. People, I said something to someone on Saturday. I said, y'all, we got to throw money to Maxine Waters' way. And they were like, why? I said, her seat's up her seat is up. People are voting for her. I said, and there's a African-American male that's running on the Republican ticket who's extremely conservative, somewhat, I would say, on the lines of A.G. Cameron, Daniel Cameron from Kentucky. And I said, and he's running against her. And right now, she doesn't look like she's in a landslide. She's ahead in the polls, but y'all know we can't trust polls. People are not even aware that Maxine Waters is running for re-election. She is. Nancy Pelosi is also running for re-election. Y'all, there are people in your states that are running for re-election. Pay attention to those elections. Pay attention. Get people out there registered to vote. Y'all, we still have time to register people to vote. You know, you can go to www.iwillvote.com. You can go to vote.gov. You can go to whenweallvote.org. You can even go to readypublication.com and hit the Ready to Vote campaign icon. Another great website, which I've given to you before, but I'll give it to you again today, is www.ballotready.org. Now, ballotready.org, why do I share that? Depending upon what city, what state you're in, you put your information in, you can create your entire ballot. That way you'll know who's running for office. You'll know. And then do your research on all the candidates. Do your research. That is so important. So y'all, listen, this is happening. So she is now in prep mode because they see something that's going on, which means we need to pay attention to what's going on as well. All right, we got to do this, y'all. We have to do this. All right, before I give you the win, there was one more section that I need to cover for the debate that will happen tomorrow night on Fox News with Chris Wallace. Excuse me, he's the moderator. Yes, we're all watching it. I've been giving you information last week, and I will give you the final information in the morning. I will dedicate most of the morning unless something seriously pops off in the news. I'll give you all that information in the morning. Thank you, Marion and Elizabeth for putting those in there. So y'all, I will be giving you questions that we need to be thinking about as we're watching the debate tomorrow. I will give those to you in the morning. Right here, News in Motion at 7:25 a.m. If there's other information you need, inbox me, and we will get that taken care of. Good morning, Michelle. We'll get that taken care of. So, y'all, as you can see, that's a lot of news I've given you. A lot of news this morning. I was sharing with Adrienne. She was like, I can't wait for News in Motion in the morning. I said, that's just too much pressure because there's so much news. And I want to make sure that I'm giving you the exact information. Nancy staying woke. Yeah, Nancy's on it. Speaker Pelosi is on it. She's on it. So with that, y'all, for the win. And for the win, these are all, the people that get the win are all the grounds game people. These are those door knockers, those canvassers, those phone bank people, those organizers, those text messaging people. If you have not already done so, please download the app Outvote. That's OUTVOTE. It's in the App Store. Download Outvote. The moment you've downloaded it, there's a link there. Good morning, Pastor Jackie. There's a link there to upload all of your contacts. Upload all of your contacts, people. When you upload all of your contacts, it will share with you who in your contacts are registered to vote and those who are not. You want to know that. You don't want to bombard them, although you might want to give them the side eye, but you really want to encourage them to vote. Y'all, for many states, we're coming down to the wire to register to vote. I know in Ohio and many others, it's October the 5th. It's coming up. You can go to iwillvote.com to register to vote. You can go to vote.gov to register to vote. You can go to vote.org to register to vote. Y'all, we gotta vote. We have to vote. If you know anyone who has received their absentee ballot application, make sure they turn that back in like ASAP. So we still have a mail situation. You may not be hearing about it, but they still haven't returned the blue boxes, and they still have not returned the sorting machines. Yeah, there's that. After the judge ordered them to do so immediately. So there's that, y'all. We need to pay attention here. So for the win, all the grounds people. Again, door knockers, canvassers, phone bank people, organizers. Y'all, we're running out of time. But we can't give up. So this is my inspirational message for today. And I know I've said this maybe about 4 or 5 weeks ago, but I find it important to say it again. Stay the course. We press towards the prize of the high calling. Y'all know I'm a believer, so that's where I'm going. We press towards the prize of the high calling of Christ Jesus. We got to press towards the prize. We cannot get weary right now. We cannot become weary. We have to stay focused. We have to keep pushing. I know for myself, when I looked at the news this weekend, I thought, can it get any worse? But we cannot become weary now, y'all. We have to really put our game. It's like put our game face on. And I don't know why I keep using the analogy of sports that I don't know anything about. But what kept coming to me last night is that we have to put on our game face. We have to put on our game face of let's get pumped up. When I was a swimmer, y'all know that I used to race competitively, freestyle breaststroke and backstroke, and I still hold records. Yes, I do. When I was a swimmer, we used to, I don't know if I would eat it now, but at that age, teenage years, early 20s, we used to eat dry Jell-O. My mom would buy me packs of Jell-O. And we would just eat it like hours before the race, put on the game face. It was like giving us energy. I am not telling any of you to go eat Jell-O. I'm not telling you that. So don't hear that. But I'm using the analogy to say we got to tap in. So for me, I've been studying God's work continuously, more so than I have in the past several months. Not only am I studying God's word, I'm praying. Many of us started a fast and pray as of this past Friday up into the election. Do whatever you need to do to be strong and ready for this battle. Y'all, this is a battle. We already have the idea that it may not end on November the 3rd, but we cannot get weary. We have to stay the course. All right, so this is what I need everyone to do today. I need all of us to download Outvote. It's an app in the App Store. It's free. It's called Outvote. Upload all of your contacts. If you see anyone, it will tell you if someone has not voted in so many elections or if they're not registered to vote. You can send them a text message without them even knowing it's coming from you, encouraging them to vote. Again, it's time for us to get on our social media and share our story for voting. Y'all, 3 minutes or less. If you want to do a live, but talk to your people. If you are pastors, talk to your congregation. If you are ministers or leaders, talk to your people. If you are a CEO, talk to your employees, talk to your consumers, talk to your customers, talk to your clients, whatever it is. And again, we're not telling them who to vote for. Our goal is to tell them the truth, to tell them what's happening, to tell them the importance of the dates, to tell them what's on the line. And again, you got to look at that like this is what I'm voting for. These issues are on the ballots. They may not be by name, but they will be because of the issues that are at hand, y'all. We cannot get weary. I am so grateful that you all continue to tune in to News in Motion. Do me another favor, click the share button, share it with someone. Someone may get the information from it. Somebody may say, that's not for me. That's okay. But we want to get enough people to hear the truth because I know that the truth will set us free. All right, y'all got to get over to IG. So until tomorrow, 7:25. And remember tomorrow, I'm giving you everything else you need to know about the debate, the first presidential debate debate is tomorrow evening. That's Tuesday, September 29th, with Chris Wallace on Fox News. And we're all watching, people. We're all watching so we could talk about. Don't let me watch it by myself. You have to watch it as well. All right, y'all. I'm Gail Dudley with your news in motion. If you're just tuning in, hit the replay. The news is good all day unless something changes. But until tomorrow, 7:25, I'm Gail Dudley. Peace out. Love you.